Okay, now I'm gonna get into this. If you don't know, if you didn't read the title, well, I don't know where to click on the video. But anyways, this is an interactive horror story. So if you don't know what interactive means, it means we get to play along. It's our story. So yeah.
Break a few days before Christmas, and
Of course, it's narrated by the one and only Mr. Nightmare. It's fucking awesome. Let's do this! Woo!
it's Christmas break a few days before Christmas, and your parents are going away for the night for a friend's holiday party in the city. You're home alone for the night, entrusted to watch after your 5-month-old baby brother Mike. You find a TV dinner in the freezer and heat it up in the microwave. You remember your baby brother has to eat too, and grab a jar of Gerber baby food and a spoon and run upstairs to Mike's room, finding him standing in his crib. You pick him up and put him in his high chair. Feeding him was easier than you thought it would be, but probably because he hasn't eaten in a while. You remember that your mom told you to leave the baby monitor on and to sing to Mike if necessary. That's out of the question since you have a sore throat. The baby monitor is sitting on the dresser. You press the yellow button on the recorder and grab the little walkie-talkie to bring with you downstairs, after putting Mike back in his crib. He should be quiet for the rest of the night. You look out the window and see the snow is still coming down hard, and it's getting noticeably more chilly in the living room, so you set a fire in the fireplace. You proceed to turn on the TV and kick back on the couch. The default station on the TV is the Weather Channel, where you see the temperature is 10 below and dropping. The weatherman is currently warning of serious snowstorms approaching. He warns that it's advised to stay indoors and to avoid any travel. The thought of your parents instantly comes to mind, and you feel a bit of concern and worry, but you assume they'll be fine and flip to a movie station. A pretty comfortable way to spend a snowy night. Everything is fine and relaxing until...
I do that every night. Turn on like something, like YouTube or movie, and just watch it.
Someone's at the front door. Who would be knocking at this hour?
Mama? ISIS?
There's no way of checking who's at the door as the window
Jared
faces away
Fogle.
from the front door.
That's CC?
Maybe it's your parents. Maybe they heard the news of the storm and turned around.
So this is where we get to pick. Okay guys, what are we gonna do? Open the door, keep it shut! Keep it shut!
You ignore the knocking and continue to watch TV. Anyone knocking at this hour is probably not someone you want to talk to. You try to get your focus back on the TV, but keep thinking about who could be out there at this late hour during such a terrible storm. Whoever was there isn't knocking again. Maybe they left. You walk to your fridge to get a snack before calling it a night, but while you're in the kitchen, you hear a sound come from the basement. It sounded like some kind of bang.
I'm fine, the dad's gone, fuck that!
Somebody might be down in the basement. You have to arm yourself. You run to your parents' room and open up your dad's closet.
We're gonna
door.
be smart
You assume your dad's
motherfuckers.
got to be.
We're gonna be smart motherfuckers today.
You rummage through the closet, but there's... The next most logical place for a gun would be under the bed. You get down on your knees and reach under the bed, eventually finding a shoebox. You pull it out from under the bed and open it up, conveniently revealing your dad's handgun.
Yes!
But with only one stray bullet rolling around in the box.
Fuck!
You check the clip and chamber, it's unloaded. You load the gun with a single bullet, and then hear the basement door creak open down the hall.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome. We're checking it out. Fuck. No, let me go type in the YouTube. Bad luck. I could not find it. He forgot to put the links on. I'm gonna check out his channel. Damn, I couldn't find it. But go to the next one. We're doing the house.
It's a cold January night. You're with your friend John walking home from a party. You have a slight buzz going on, but overall still have your wits about you. Your friend, on the other hand, is just flat out drunk, acting like a complete idiot and making tons of noise. You're walking down one of the more secluded blocks in your neighborhood, Drew Avenue, which is relatively close to your houses. Your friend starts complaining, claiming that his bladder is about to explode all of a sudden. You tell him to wait as you're almost home, but he says he can't make it. His complaining continues as you pass by a vacant house.
Damn it. Hold on. Jesus Christ, I'm trying to record.
In fact, this house has been uninhabited for years now, ever since the owner of the house and his daughter were stabbed
love
to death
these.
by an intruder. Everybody in the neighborhood knows about it. It wouldn't leave the local newspapers for weeks.
3 minutes now.
There have also been a disturbingly high amount of disappearances in town ever since that event, and rumors circulate that it has something to do with this house. The strange thing about it, though, is that the two victims who own the house were missing their heads, and to this day, their skulls haven't been found.
I'll be right back. I might need to end this video, but I don't know. I might need to make a part 2, but I don't know. Yes! We got more time. Keep her going. Hold on.
But it, though,
God damn it.
is that the two victims who own the house were missing their heads, and to this day, their skulls haven't been found. Since John literally looks like he's
I'm starting to hear a sound now. God damn my paranoia.
about to pee his pants, you suggest that he just go on this lawn. But the thought of somebody watching comes to mind, so you suggest that he goes in the backyard. Without a reply, he runs to the old wooden gate and latches it open. It shuts with a loud bang behind him, and you're left alone in the night in the middle of the road. You sit down on the curb, waiting, when you hear the sound of a front door closing. You turn around to see somebody approaching you from the neighboring house. It's an elderly woman. She tells you that she heard the gates of the backyard of the empty house slam shut. You try to think of a quick excuse or lie, but she picks up on your stammering and tells you not to even bother lying. She says that she doesn't care what you do, but that you and your friend should simply stay away for your own safety. After all, there have been a lot of disappearances in town lately. Something about the way she says that gives off an eerie vibe. It doesn't seem like she sincerely cares about your safety, and what the hell could she mean by that?
Fucking paranoia.
For your own safety. You open your mouth to respond, but she gives you no time. She turns around and slowly walks back to her house, shutting the door behind her. You're left alone again by the curb, confused and creeped out. There seemed to be something off about that lady, but she probably has to deal with trespassers all the time, being the neighbor to this old house. But what kind of old lady stays up this late at night? It's almost 1 in the morning.
She's the murderer.
You continue waiting, now continuously glancing at the old lady's house to see if she's watching you through the window. She isn't. John's been gone for a while now. He should have been back by now. You don't want to call his name to draw even more attention to yourself. Maybe you should just walk home. John's 21 years old. He doesn't need you to walk him home. But he is pretty drunk.
Now, no, wait. Go back. Shut up, Chloe. Chloe, shut up. Chloe. Fucking snoring bitch. Should we check on Johnny boy? Should we check on Johnny boy? Check on Johnny boy, walk home. We're gonna... No, we're gonna walk home. I'm gonna start with John.
John's 21 years old. He can make his way back home, even if he has been drinking. You continue your walk home down the quiet street. You begin to feel bad for leaving him there like that.
Yeah,
He'll probably
I do.
be confused as hell when he comes out to look for you. So you take out your phone and send him a quick text, telling him that you needed to get home.
God damn it. God damn it.
The rest of the walk home, the message is left unresponded to. The little text under the message that says delivered appears, but it still says that John has yet to read it. You get home and crawl into bed to finish the night with some TV. The first channel that comes on is a news station, but you quickly draw your attention to your phone to see if John has responded to the text. Still nothing. Although, now it says that he read the text. Damn, he must be mad that I left him, you think to yourself. You really begin to feel sorry for what you did now. But very quickly your sleepiness starts to cloud your thoughts, and before you know it, everything fades into darkness. You wake after a long, well-needed sleep. You're immediately greeted by the sounds of the morning news. You turn and realize that you fell asleep with the TV on. The clock on the cable box reads noon. It's not the morning news anymore. Before doing anything, you grab your phone to apologize to John about last night. He still hasn't responded to your first text, but he didn't expect him to at this point. You send a text saying, "Hey Johnny, sorry about last night. I just wasn't feeling too good. You should come over and we could play some FIFA or something." As you sit up and rub your eyes, you hear the name of your town on the TV.
I'm sorry, first of all, I don't play FIFA. I play GTA and other games.
This grabs your attention. Apparently, there's been a murder in town.
Oh shit.
This comes as a major shock, but it doesn't faze you much. Not until you hear the words, Drew Avenue. Screams were heard coming from the house by the neighbor, and the cops were called immediately. Police arrived to the scene. to find a mutilated, headless body of a young man at the top of the stairs.
John!
You feel as though your heart has just shriveled up and died. Your phone vibrates from a text, and almost by accident, you turn your attention to the screen to see the name John. And under his name reads the text, "Of course, I have your address. I'll be there soon."
Well, that's it. No! Oh, shit, I'm at 3 million. There's gotta be another one. Let's see. We did the house, knock at the door, and private video. God damn it! Hold on, I'm gonna find more. We're gonna do this one again.
It's a cold January night. You're with your friend John walking home from a
We already know this part.
confused and creeped out. There seemed to be something off about that lady, but she probably has to deal with trespassers all the time, being the neighbor to this old house. But what kind of old lady stays up this late at night? It's almost 1 in the morning. You continue waiting, now continuously glancing at the old lady's house to see if she's watching you through the window. She isn't. John's been gone for a while now. He should have been back by now. You don't want to call his name to draw even more attention to yourself.
I would know.
Maybe you should just walk home.
This time I'm checking on Johnny to see what happens. I'm gonna probably do that for the other ones to see what happens for the other choices. Hold on. Okay. Okay, there's more choices. So, walking home was the bad one.
John's really drunk right now. He might have even passed out. You have to go check on him.
There's more. Fuck.
Back here. So you take out your phone and turn on its flashlight. You shine the light around the whole perimeter of the yard. The whole fence is covered by tall bushes, giving the yard a really private and secluded feeling. You notice an old backyard playground, with the slide, swing set, and all. The swings were broken off and lay on the ground, though. You notice graffiti sprayed on the slide and on the roof of the playground. John isn't in the playground. You shine the light to the ground all across the yard, revealing tons of litter scattered across the place. Mostly beer cans and bottles. But no John. You call out his name again, this time a little louder, but still nothing. You turn and shine the light across the back wall of the house to reveal even more graffiti. You move the light down the wall, revealing the back door of the house. It's open. Damn it, you say to yourself. John must have thought it would be a good idea to check the place out. You take out your phone and dial his number, in hopes to get him out without having to go into this house. Then, breaking the silence, you can hear the sound of John's loud ringtone coming from inside the house. It continues to ring, but he doesn't pick up. You slowly walk towards the door and stop right by the outside, poking your head in through the doorway and calling John's name. He doesn't respond.
Don't do that.
You step into the house and slowly walk towards the ringtone.
I know we're checking on Johnny. We don't fucking do that. If I call him like, Johnny, you here? Johnny, you here? Yeah, I'm here. Shut the fuck up. God damn it. What? Are you fucking kidding me? God damn it.
It's a cold January night.
Son of a
You're with your friend
bitch.
John walking home from a party. You have a slight buzz going on, but
Go fuck yourself. Sorry, I'm in a nightmare. I'm just getting a little fucking salty and enraged.
John,
God damn it. We were like,
you move the light down the wall,
boom.
across the room. There's a bookshelf that seems to have been toppled over on the ground, and sitting on top of it is a broken chandelier. You shine the light up to the ceiling to reveal the chain that once held it up. In the back corner of the room, you notice a bunch of tools laying on the floor. A few screwdrivers, a hammer, and a pair of pliers. That's very odd. This is a place that's cool to explore during the day, but at a time like this, it's just a nightmare. The floorboards creak as you approach the sound of John's ringtone. It gets louder and louder until it stops. You're almost afraid to call John's name again. You redial his number and it says calling John on your phone, but there's no ringtone. His phone must be on, otherwise he would have gotten voicemail. The ringtone seemed to have been coming from the next room over, which appears to be the living room. You make your way out of the den-like room and into the living room. There was a stairwell leading to the upstairs of the house, and across from that, the front door. Shining the light on the front door, however, you notice that it's been boarded up with 2 planks. That's rather strange. Suddenly, your phone's flashlight turns off, and the dead battery image appears on your screen. You've been so distracted that you've completely forgotten how low your battery has gotten. You call John's name again, but in a very quiet, whispery-like yell.
Johnny!
Almost immediately, you hear the sound of the floor.
Johnny!
It came from the top of the
Johnny!
stairs.
Johnny,
You can't
you
see
here?
who it is in this complete darkness.
Johnny!
You say John's
Johnny!
name again,
You here?
this time in a complete whisper, but there's no response.
Fuck it. We're going balls deep.
It has to be John. Who else could it be? You make your way to the bottom of the stairs, stumbling a bit.
Okay, so there's still more. Yay! This is fucking awesome.
In the dark. You struggle to connect your feet to the steps in the dark as you slowly ascend. As you near the top of the stairs, the silhouette of a man comes into view, standing at the top of the stairs. John, is that you? You ask with a shake in your voice. After climbing the final 2 steps, the figure becomes more clear. It is John. You try to grab his arm to pull him out of the place, but you notice his facial expression. His mouth is hanging open and there's obvious fear in his eyes that are looking at something down the hallway. You turn to try and see what he's looking at, but can't at first, it's too dark. John, what do you see? You ask. John says something that sends a chill down your spine. Let's go, now. You continue to stare down the hall, frozen with fear. Something's coming. You back up towards the stairs, clutching John's arm. You're ready to pull his drunk ass down the stairs when something comes into view from down the hall. It almost looks like the shadow of a crawling man. You notice that John's holding his phone. You suddenly have the far-fetched idea that whoever is coming towards you could have something to do with the murders that happened in this house. You could catch a quick picture of whatever is coming towards you and be out the back door within seconds.
Well, we'll take more than one thing, so. We're gonna take the picture first. We're gonna do the dumbass position. We're gonna be a fucking dumbass. We're going 2 balls deep. 2 balls deep. And now we're stuck. I went too far balls deep. Ah, fucking head! Stop killing me, Mr. Nightmare! Come on. Is this it? Yep. So we either fucked up or we didn't.
This could be your chance to be heroes. This guy might be the murderer of the father and daughter that lived in this house. You snatch John's phone out of his hands and switch to the camera app. The thumping sounds are getting closer as you wait for the camera app to load. Finally, the red button at the bottom appears, and you snap a picture down the hall to the approaching man, and the camera light flashes for a split second.
Gosh.
But that split second is enough to reveal that this thing is not a man, or a human for that matter. That brief moment of light revealed something more of a crawling humanoid creature with long, skinny arms and a tannish brown complexion. The creature lets out an ear-piercing scream, a scream of agony, something that you wouldn't hear from any animal known to man.
Fuck. Jesus Christ.
John was already down the stairs, fleeing to the back door. You follow his trail back down to the den. The creature is still upstairs, letting out the demonic screaming.
Shut the fuck up.
Make it down the stairs to be greeted by John,
Shut-
banging on the glass of the sliding glass door.
Shut the fuck up.
It's been shut by somebody. You push him aside and try to open it, but it won't budge. It's been jammed with something on the other side. You turn on the flashlight on John's phone and search the room for anything to break the glass with.
The tools.
The screaming from upstairs stops, and you hear rapid thumping sounds coming from upstairs. The thing is coming down. You then remember the hammer in the corner of the room with the stray tools.
Run, bitch.
Stepping through
Go
the
get
mess on
it.
the floor, you grab the hammer and hurry back to the door. It takes a few swings before the glass finally shatters, and you and John make your escape from the house. The two of you hurry to the gate and try to find the latch. While John struggles to find the latch to the gate, you turn around and shine the light down behind you to reveal yet another horrifying sight. An old woman is standing in the back corner of the yard staring at the two of you. The old lady from next door. You shove John out of the way and find the latch to the gate. You pull it open and the two of you make a mad dash out from the yard and down the streets. The two of you run all the way back to your house, back to safety. The two of you review the picture to reveal razor-sharp claws on the creature. The homeowner and his daughter were
Looking for the
stabbed by
picture?
knives. They were clawed to death by this thing. The two of you hypothesize that the creature hides in the dark and is somehow hurt by light, hence its reaction to the light of the camera flash. But the old lady, why was she in that backyard? You have yet to figure this out. Luckily, though, you've escaped with not only your lives, but also with evidence.
Yes.
Evidence of that creature that lives in there.
We did it.
Even if it's not very credible, it should definitely warrant another police investigation of the house. Well,
The
hopefully.
bitches, we made it. You won? Question mark. Ooh. Okay, we're gonna speed run this until we get to the choice that we did not make.
Allison, are you at home? Yeah, just got back. What's up? Is your mother with you? Yeah, we're just watching TV. Do not say anything to her. Tell me exactly what she's doing. She's just staring at the TV. Why? Is she...
Go to John. We're gonna go to John.
John's really drunk right now. He might have even passed out. You have to go check on him.
Okay, we're leaving the house this time. This might be a bad thing.
Like hell am I going up there? You think to yourself. You quickly make your way back down to the den area. And
Like
through the
how
back
I'm
door
going
of
in the house in the first place.
While waving your hands in front of you to make sure that you don't walk into anything. You try to justify your actions. It was the logical thing to do. After all, if it was him, then he's fine. But if it wasn't him, then there's nothing you could have done, and fleeing the scene was the right course of action. You walk back to the gate, looking over your shoulder to make sure that you're not being followed. You stand there for a few moments, trying to find the latch to the gate, until you hear the sound of the latch being pulled up. Only, it came from the other side. You weren't the one who lifted it. You quickly crouch down in the corner of the fence as somebody pushes the gate open. The person that walks into the yard, it's the old lady from next door.
Okay.
She walks right past you. Thankfully, she didn't notice you. You leap up and squeeze through the still open gate before it shuts, and quickly pace away from the
Oh
gate.
shit, I just saw something. If we didn't take the picture and stun the creature, we would probably die. We'd probably got our ass clawed off. Oh my god.
What the hell is up with that old lady? As you move away from the house, you wonder what that lady is going to do to John if she finds him. But then again, maybe John isn't even in the house. You only make it to the sidewalk before you hear the sound of somebody calling for help. You turn around to face the house again, but it's not coming from this house. It's coming from the neighboring house, the old lady's house. You notice that she left her front door wide open. You cautiously proceed closer to the house. Another cry for help
Wait. Oh shit, yes!
goes out the door. It sounds like a young man. Somebody is clearly in trouble in that house.
We're gonna do the hero route, except they kind of bounced on little old Johnny boy over there, so. I'm going inside and helping the motherfucker. Dude, these are fucking awesome. I fucking love these.
Having a sudden desire to be a hero for a complete stranger rather than your good friend, you storm into the house, flip on a light switch, and your confidence boost quickly deteriorates. There's no furniture in this house. You walk into what's supposed to be the living room, but all it feels like is a giant empty box with a creaky wooden floor. You peek your head into what looks like it's supposed to be the dining room. Nothing there either. No table, no chairs, no pictures. What kind of old lady is this? You hear the call for help again, much louder now. Help! You respond by calling out the question, "Where are you?" The man just screams help again. Help! Came from your left. You turn and see a door open just a crack. You walk over and pull it open completely. It's the basement. The man calls out for help again. Help! So loud that your body forced your hands to cover your ears in reaction. You call out that you're coming to help as you search the wall for a light switch. You can't seem to find it, but you continue to walk down the stairs in the dark. The man has gone silent now. You call out the question, "What's wrong? Where are you?" No response. You take another step down, and something hits your head. You jump back in fear, but it only takes you a couple seconds to realize it's just a hanging light switch. You pull it down, and the basement lights up. Only barely, however. Just as you reach your leg out to step down another stair, the man screams for help again. This time, so loud and unexpected that you slip and fall. You roll down the stairs one at a time until you suddenly get the burning sensation of several sharp objects stabbing you in the thigh. You open your eyes at the bottom of the stairs, not even sure if you had been passed out or not. You try to get on your feet, but as soon as you put the pressure on your left leg, it feels as though 100 knives are stabbing it at once. You let out a cry of agony as you collapse back to the floor. You look up the stairs to try and find what stabbed your leg. It doesn't take long for you to find it. A single stair has probably 10 giant nails protruding out from it, clearly set as some kind of trap. The sudden and painfully loud scream for help coming from right next to you makes you jump. Help! You turn, expecting to see a man, but it's just an old record player, blasting some odd recorded cry for help. What the hell is this? You say to yourself, and then you realize something. This room, it's not empty. The walls, they're all covered with pictures. One picture of 2 men standing in front of the house next door. Another picture of some older man seemingly sitting at the bottom of the stairs, just as you are now. And another picture, some creep. Huge bulging white eyes and massive razor-sharp claws. What the hell is that?
I'm doing the video.
But that's not the only one.
I'm doing the
walls are
video.
flooded with pictures of the creature. You then notice something disturbing, something you wish you hadn't seen. Sitting on the ground only a few meters away from you lay a severed human leg, spilling blood onto the concrete floor. You begin to scream for help as loud as you can, until the lights suddenly go out, and you're left bleeding out on the floor in the dark. The door at the top of the stairs is pulled open, and somebody steps onto the top step, shutting the door behind them.
That could have gone better. This time we're gonna ignore it again, so we can see what happens if we ignore it.
Good morning, guys.
Of course, other than that. Start. I'll do one of these with you so you can choose. It's interactive horror stories.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Once I'm done with this.
Interactive horror stories. Are you still recording right now?
Yeah.
You little cocksucking ass bitch.
Yeah.
If he's alright.
Okay.
He doesn't respond. You send another text, saying to watch out because the old lady from next door is probably coming in to check what's going on. Usually John reads his text right away, but not this time.
Well, yeah,
You tell
because
yourself
he's
that it's probably just
kind of
because
in
he's
the
been
middle of
drinking.
seeing a creature.
You get home and crawl into bed, too tired to even turn the
We
TV
already
on.
saw this. What kind of?
Take a look at your phone to see if John has responded to the
He's not
text.
gonna respond.
Still nothing.
He's either dead
Oh, now it says that he read the text.
or dead.
Damn, he must be mad that I left him, you think to yourself.
Okay.
You really begin to feel sorry for what you did now, and start to wonder about what you witnessed. You wonder what that old lady would have done to John if she caught him, and what if the person at the top of the stairs wasn't John? What if by some chance it was the guy who killed that man and his daughter? What if these disappearances in town have something to do with this house after all? Suddenly, you hear the sound of sirens coming down the street and turning the corner leading to Drew Avenue. Oh shit. What the hell happened over there? You shield your mind from imagining the worst. The old lady must have caught John and called the police, but there's no way she could have managed to
Nope.
hold him captive.
We already know what happened. John's dead.
He's probably home already. You decide to send John another text. John, what happened? The police are heading in the direction of the house. Did you get caught? Dude, come over now. We gotta talk about this. You sit patiently and wait as more sirens pass outside. You begin to feel more worried as your optimism begins to fade. Just until you hear the reassuring sound of your phone vibrating from a text. It says John's name. You feel a sudden relief and begin to read the text. Of course I'm fine. I have your address. I'll be right over.
Oh, just like last time. Oh, John Dickon. Gotta be.
Is there any wheat right here?
I don't know. Gotta be one more thing that we need to do. Of course, we need to go upstairs.
Mother, I'll toast the dang bro. That's that mother effing is. Yeah, I think the guy said his name was Sami Zayn.
It has to be John. Who else could it be?
Chloe, get out of the
You
Christmas
make your way
present.
to the
Okay, we're not gonna take a picture this time. Now, my theory is correct.
Connect your feet to the steps in
I
the dark as you slowly
Don't
ascend.
take the picture.
As you
We're probably gonna die. But let's escape while we can. Let's dab and get out of there. Or don't dab or just get out of there.
What the fuck is the toaster in this place?
There's no time to take a stupid picture. Whoever that is must have malicious intent. You grab John by the arm and pull him down the stairs with you. His drunken
No, stop buffering. Don't buffer.
himself stumbles and falls on the last step. You can hear manic thumping coming from the top of the staircase. Whoever or whatever that thing is, it's after you and it's coming fast. You pull John back up on his feet and he finally starts to move on his own. The two of you make your way back down to the den area. The thumping noise getting closer now. The thumping starts to resemble the sound of somebody crawling on the floor, but not at a speed that would be humanly possible. The sight of slight moonlight shining into the room through the door appears, but a shocking sight accompanies it. The sliding glass door that led to the backyard has been shut. You know for a fact that you left it open when you walked into the house. You and John run to the door and try to unlock it, but it won't budge. It's been jammed with something from the outside. You peer through the glass out to the darkness of the backyard. The slight moonlight exposes the figure of a person standing on the other side of the glass. It's a very familiar figure.
No tomatoes.
Suddenly, you feel as though your heart is completely stopped. The person outside
Old
is
lady.
the old lady from next door.
Yep.
And she's holding something in both of her hands. The thumping enters the room, and you tell John to get ready to fight. Whoever or whatever this thing is, it's outnumbered. But a knock on the glass turned your attention away from that and back to the door. The old lady's holding up two objects in her hands to the glass. It only takes you a second to realize what they are. Two human skulls. The last thing you hear is John's scream of pure horror before...
Oh, well, we died. Well, that's all of the stuff. Hope you guys enjoyed. Calm yourself.